Hi, my name is Daniel Marquette. I am a young talent stylist at Frank Duranda at the Wheaton location. Today I'm going to be walking you through a haircut that's going to be slightly graduated towards the layering into the length. After having a proper and thorough consultation, we've decided that her overall goal is to maintain length so that we can grow out this shape while blending in her layers, and then taking out some internal weight so that the haircut can absolutely collapse upon itself, maintaining length and also pushing down that weight so that we don't get a flip right above the shoulders. So I'm gonna get my client cleansed, and then I will take you through the sectioning through this haircut, and we'll get started. Okay, so after thoroughly cleansing my client and prepping her with a cutting agent, I have sectioned her off into 3 sections. So I put in a radial parting from the top of the round of her head to just above the middle of the ear, and I've done that on the same side. I'm using a natural parting as she parts with a heavier side to the left and a lighter side to the right. So this is going to determine the length in the front as well. So I want to maintain as much length as possible around the entire perimeter. To start this haircut, I'm going to start in the back, and I'm going to create a central vertical profile section. This is going to run straight down from the top of the crown to the back of the nape. I'm going to split that into 2. Remember to keep your sections clean. Clean sections really determine how perfect your haircut's going to be. So I'm going to clean up this line. All right. Now that I have my central vertical parting, I'm going to take a small section from just below the occipital to right below the ear, and it's going to be a diagonal forward section. Clean up that line. Now remember, in this haircut we want to create a slight angle, so creating diagonal forwards is going to help me create that angle while maintaining length and balance in the back and around the front. So you can change your angle as much as you'd like. I like to keep, for the sake of this haircut, just a slight angle to keep more of a square shape, to give me a slight angle around the face, but more of a square shape in the back, so that she has enough length that she feels that she's long enough while she's growing this out. So now I'm going to split these 2 sections in half. I'm going to start on my left side, and I'm going to create my guide. I'm using my 7-inch talon. I'm going to use the wide teeth of my comb. I'm combing this to natural fall, 0 degrees elevation. You don't want any graduation. And I have her head slightly tipped forward just to tuck in her chin. This is going to help me remove any sort of graduation towards the end of the haircut. So I'm mirroring my section angle with my comb as well as my shear. So I'm just going to take off about a 1/2 inch. I'm going to cut. I can recomb and redistribute. I'm going to repeat that on the same or on the opposite side. When you have clean section angles, checking for balance isn't going to be much of a problem. Actually, it shouldn't be a problem at all. So I'm going to cut inward because I'm cutting on the right side. So I'm going to cut. I'm still mirroring my section angle. And check for balance. Now, in these types of haircuts, I like to visually check for balance. There's a lot of cowlicks and whorls that lie within the nape area here. So the more that I visually check this, the better I can see balance. So I'm just going to clean up that line. I'm going to take 2 outer sections and I'm going to cross check. I'm going to take 2 from the middle and cross check, and we're balanced. I'm going to repeat this sectioning all the way up into the top of the ear until I get into a horseshoe section to the low recession. So I'm going to continue cutting, and once I get to the horseshoe section, well, I'll explain how we're going to cut that to form a shape. Okay, so now that I've created my guide in the back, I've continued taking diagonal sections forward up into this recession area. Because of the layering that she has, not a lot of that in the back is going to reach all the way down to her perimeter, but a lot of the side is gonna reach. So I took a horseshoe section from the middle crown to the low recession area. The reason I'm taking out a low recession area is because I want as much angle as possible to give her a slight angle just in front. Remember, you can over dramatize the way you put your angle into the haircut because it's eventually going to square out in the end. So the deeper your angle, the sharper your angle on the front is going to actually be. So the way I'm going to take this is I'm going to follow the head shape around. So just behind the ear, I'm going to take this right into 1 finger's depth. I'm going to cut. Now I'm going to take this in front of the ear, and I'm going to follow this section angle downward. So I'm going to take this right above the shoulder. I'm going to cut that. Remember, we're only cutting about 2 knuckles deep in. I'm following that section angle. So now I can take this right by her chin and clean up that line. All right, I'm going to repeat this in the second section on the right side, and then I'm going to drop the rest of the sectioning, and I'm going to continue this pattern until I get to the layering. All right, for the layering, I'm going to be using a transient cut technique. The word transient just means that it can be transferable around the head. So any way she wears this, the layering is going to be pretty much uniform. So she can wear this any way she wants, so it's not actually stuck into one style. I'm using actually the length from my guide. So I'm letting the length from about the lower crown, top of the occipital drop out, and I'm using everything 90 from the head shape, so that comes to about here. You can put your comb on the head, and if it rises above that, you know that you're 90 from the head. And I'm just going to use her length. I'm going to take about 1/2 inch to 1 inch at the top. I'm going to follow that up. All right. Now that I've established my guide, I'm going to be working around the head. I like to ping pong sections, which means I work from one section and I work towards the other, another section, the other side. This ensures balance. It also ensures that I'm taking the appropriate amount of hair. Because she does have a lot of hair, I'm only taking about 1 inch worth of sectioning. So keep your sections clean. Again, I'm taking it 90 from the head shape. I can find my guide, and I can cut. So I'm going to follow this all the way up the head shape. I'm going to dry her, and then we'll get into the dry cutting portion of this section. All right, I have this gorgeous shape now. The layers collapse upon the length, and right now, you know, after I've cleaned up the perimeter, you really want to make sure that you have a nice solid line. I'm going to go in and I'm going to detail the layering and the interior weight. So I can see where there's a heavy weight line that sits right here below the occipital. So I'm going to take a vertical section. I'm going to angle it downward because I really want to hit this area here. And I'm going to slice out pieces, keeping my blades very still. I'm just going to take out weight that affects the shape and comb it out. And I can see that it's already softening. So I'm going to continue this through the head. I'm going to continue to angle down. I have this corner here, so I want to make sure that I remove as much weight as possible from that corner without collapsing it completely, because remember, I want to keep as much shape in this haircut as possible. So I'm going to do that around the haircut, and the other technique that I'm going to use is going to be to soften the actual layers. So I'm going to take triangular sections. I'm going to work around her cowlick so it doesn't break. I'm going to fan out my fingers, and I can find areas of weight throughout the layering. So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to deep parallel point cut. It's a great way to remove excess weight. I'm going to drop that. And already she's getting a lot of lift and a lot of volume. Another technique that I can use to give her that volume is by brick cutting. So I'm going to take that hair right above the crown, right into her cowlicks. I'm going to drop that hair out. I'm going to dip the hair and see where it bends. And right above that, I'm going to brick lay, point cut. Then you can remove that weight, and that hair sits more voluminous above the crown. Alright, so I'm finished with my haircut. We have some beautiful texture in here for pieciness, but she can also wear this for softness as well. She can straighten this, she can curl this. She has enough height for the world to share. So we have a gorgeous shape, we have a gorgeous perimeter. She's going to be able to, wear this for up to 5 weeks, and I would recommend that she comes in every, 5-6 weeks so that the shape can be re-examined, reshapen, and really just to keep that style, but we've achieved a really gorgeous look. So I appreciate you on my journey with me to this haircut. You can follow me on my social media pages, facebook.com/HairByDanielFG. Give that a like. You can see all my posts there. You can also follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/HairByDanielFG. Thanks everybody. Thanks for watching.